Welcome to MechaPaint. Today we're going to take an old model I use all the time in Glycon for captured stuff. I'm going to go to my avatars. I'm going to grab this guy here, iClone Kevin from iClone, and I'm going to slap my friend's face on him. So here's Kevin. Poor unsuspecting Kevin, about to get a complete face swap. So we're going to go over here and grab a picture of my friend Tom. Tom, thank you for letting me use your face. I'm going to pop in here, and we're just going to paste this right into the air. And then I'm going to resize it till it's roughly correct. Zoom in a little bit more on his face. There we go. Resize this Tom's face a little bit. And we're going to switch over the overlay mode here so I can see underneath it. And I want to get it as close as possible. Actually, I'll just zoom in on the image, and then it'll be a little easier to resize. And I'm trying to talk through this so that if you want to go do this yourself, you can. It's very easy to do. And I want to try to get the eyes about equal distance apart, about the same distance apart as the eyes in the image. The mouth can be a little off. We can stretch the face around a little bit to fit that. So that's pretty good. I can also rotate it just a little bit if I feel like it needs a little bit of rotation, and I do feel like it needs that. I think that's pretty good. So you'll notice the nose is not correct and the mouth is not correct, but that's okay. We're going to adjust for that in a minute. Let me make sure I got it just about right. And I can obviously change the eyes back and forth. Maybe I should not have rotated it. Let's see. That's actually better. All right, good. Let's go. So we're going to go about halfway there, and then I'm going to change the brush size just a little bit and paint in the eyes and a little bit of the forehead. And let's see, where's the mouth here? The mouth is a little different, so we're going to do this. We're just going to move this down there. Perfect. And we're going to paint in the mustache. There we go. And a little bit of the cheek coloring here. I'm avoiding the nose because on a 3D model, it's easy to accidentally mess up the nose area because the nose model is usually not exactly. Tom is looking up a little bit and to one side. This guy is looking straight ahead, so there's a very slight variation on the nose, and we don't actually need to do that. So we're going to edit out part of the nose here. Oh, but we're done with the overlay. Actually, let's do this first. Let's do one minor thing here. We're going to go back to our overlay, which is under Paint. That's one of these guys. Let's go back into overlay and real quick, line up the eyes one more time. And then we're going to go to, so I think we slightly changed the perspective or the zoom here. Let's see. It's pretty good. So we're going to go up here and we're going to say save camera relationship. And then we're going to paint the eyes one more time. And the reason we're doing this is I'll show you in a minute if we need to. So we did that, save that, looking good. Now, if you notice from the side, we got some issues. We got to fix those. So we're going to grab the eraser and just go start erasing. Set the opacity a little higher there. Thank you. And there we go. To erase or to paint, you just click and drag on the model. To rotate the model, you click and drag off of the model. Left click if you're using a 2-button mouse. There we go. Looking good. All right. Now, about these the facial blemishes, so to speak here. Let's fix that real quick. We're going to go in here just a little bit. And we're going to take out some of the hard edges between parts of this. There we go. And we're going to take some of the nose paint off here. There we go. So I'm going to go to meshes. And obviously, looking at this picture, it isn't because Tom is actually completely red. It's because of the camera settings and everything else here. So we're going to try to match these two. So to do that, we go to our mesh and go to the mesh section up here and go to layers. And you'll notice this top layer is where all the painting is being done. The bottom layer is where the original skin was. And so I'm going to go to the top layer and click on the little 3 dots. Go to adjust color. And here I could mess with this stuff and try to figure it out myself, but there's an easier way. We are going to go use the match target. So we're going to click on pick. And for the from, we're going to pick an area of skin, let's say there. Let's do pick again right there. And then 2, we're just going to click somewhere else. And I'm going to click around for a minute until I find an area that has as little color variation as possible. I don't really care about the darkness or lightness. I'm mostly concerned about color variation at this point. So that's pretty good. And we click OK. All right. Now, it's not bad, but we can actually make it just a little bit better. We can go to, let's see, first off, we can Trace out any sections that we feel like are just a little bit overkill. There we go. Good. And there we go. All right, looking pretty good. So to match the rest of it, we can go in here to adjust color again. And we could adjust things like contrast and brightness. And it gets us just a little bit closer to what we're looking for. And then we go in here and adjust it again. Or we could also go here to our layer color settings, and we could do something like change it to just use luminosity. And you'll notice that that immediately changes it quite a bit. It gets rid of a lot of the color difference there that seems to stand out. And that is really all it takes. So now we have Tom's face on this other 3D model. Now, the other 3D model might have an animation. In this case, Kevin has a very simple animation where he stands different. So you can click on the animation button up there, and then we can go down here to animation 1 and 2, click that. There's his other animation. Hey there, Kevin. Or should I say Tom? Anyway, that is MechaPaint. And, oh, one more thing. Let's do one more thing here. Let's go here. Let's go to create a new layer, and we're going to bake max quality. And we'll do that. Let's turn off this animation. Let's go back to the T-pose, bake max quality here. Now, we don't have any lighting turned on specifically. We just have our normal base light. That's why there are no shadows and there's no real accent here. So now we have this final model here. Now, if you're curious what these textures look like, I can show you that. So we turn off all these other ones and we go to texture. This is what the UV map would look like for Tom. So as you can see, this is not a thing where you could have just pasted his face straight onto it. It would not have looked right. And this is the original UV map. Again, not possible to just paste his face straight on there. So let's play with one more thing. We're going to go back into our adjust color, and we're going to boost the contrast up a little bit. And, oops, wrong one. There we go. Helps if we're on the right one. Give him just a little more color there. Oops, adjust color. Perfect. Now let's go play with lighting. So if we wanted to change the lighting, here's how you do that. You would just go to the lighting tab, set it. You can move the light around by clicking on the light button at the top and moving the click and drag on the person, and it gives them some shadows. But there you go. That's all it takes. And now Kevin is more like Tom. Thanks. All right. I'll see you in the next video.